Alright, here we go. In this week's video, we're going to introduce Final Parsec's latest product. We've also made some enhancements to the world building tool and our game hosting offering, which I'm excited to take you through. If you're new here, my name is Bear, and Final Parsec is all about building tools and content to help others develop their own games. Thanks for joining us, and let's get into it. Let's start with the world builder, which is meant to support you while developing a story and fictional universe for your game. You can capture all the details of your characters, levels, and so on, and we have this adjacent feature called dailies. In the spirit of maintaining good daily habits and keeping the creativity flowing, this feature encourages you to just quickly respond to a writing prompt each day about a hypothetical scenario in a fictional universe. I've cleaned up the look and feel a bit over here and added this new streak counter component, which shows just how consistent you are. So it counts the number of consecutive days in a row that you respond, and it'll show how you're currently doing. It'll show you your best streak ever, and it has this red or green indicator letting you know if you've written today. Let's talk about some less sexy updates. In the past, I've mentioned that Final Parsec has actually been split between two apps for a little while, and that I've been working here and there to clean that up. This week, I finally turned off the proxying behavior of my newer app, which means I shouldn't be relying on the old app anymore at all. I'll pop an image up here that kind of shows the architecture. That change this week means that I've made it from the second row to the third row, and it feels pretty good. I'm kind of just keeping an eye on it to make sure nothing is broken. Probably next week, I'll pull some backups and actually turn off the infrastructure running on Azure. That'll save me some money on running the site and leave me with a simpler app to maintain moving forward. Our game hosting feature is getting more and more feature complete, I think. Final Parsec lets you share the games that you develop for others to play in their browser. I had someone upload a game made with Scratch last week, and I fixed a bug to make that work. So we support WebGL builds from Unity, Godot, and Scratch with proven examples now. I'm confident at this point we should be able to support whatever else, but I just don't have any examples of people trying to publish games built in other ways yet. I'm still working through some functionality that people will just expect too. The edit page or manage game page is getting more refined. I've updated it such that you can upload and pick the preview image that's shown for your game. You can also manage a summary that's shown alongside your game in a pretty robust markdown editor here. If you've been watching for a while, you'll know I've quit my job to go at this full time. I'm still in a phase where I'm rapidly putting out products in an effort to find a product market fit, and my goal is to introduce a new offering each month. When one of these products starts to show meaningful traction, it's my plan to kind of double down on that and work to scale it. So for January here, I'm creating a subscription product for this game hosting feature. It's free for anyone to start, and then it will prompt you to pay when you try to store more than 100 megabytes of data for your games. Just like I've done with the world builder, I'll probably put additional differentiation and features on the premium side of things over time to make that more enticing. I'm going to run a sale on this for anyone that wants to be an early supporter. Just use the code GAMEON at checkout to get 50% off. That coupon will be valid through February just as a celebration of the new launch, so don't wait too long. I've been working on expanding and documenting our API for managing your games that are published on Final Parsec. It's got the core capability of letting you create games and fetch them back. I'm also working on making the updating of games in place work. I demonstrate this and rely on the API for a continuous deployment workflow that I'm putting in place for my next game, which will be an office sim written in Godot. Right now, it publishes the game to Final Parsec anytime I open a PR. That game and the GitHub action it uses are open source for anyone to reference. And of course, our API, which that GitHub action is using, is documented here on the site. So I'm dogfooding this for myself, and I'm hopeful I'm setting up enough that others can start to take advantage of it too. I have expressed the goal to write a blog post each month in addition to releasing a product each month, like I stated a little earlier. I'm going to miss that goal by a few days probably, but I'm working on my next post, which will be all about how to set up a workflow like this for yourself. After I'm through writing that post, I'm planning to shift a lot of my focus in February to working on my game, which I'm really excited about. I've had this idea to work on an office sim for a long time. I've written about it in our blog and even worked on a super basic proof of concept. I'm quite looking forward to really just jamming and exploring the core mechanics of this idea to see how fun it can be over the coming month or so. I think that's all I've got for this week. Thank you so much for watching if you've made it this far. If you like what I'm doing here, please like the video and subscribe. New videos come out every week. If you really like what I'm doing here, head over to the shop on finalparsec.com and see if there's something you'd be interested in buying. I appreciate every bit of support you all offer as I work toward making this a sustainable resource for the game dev community. Drop a comment below if you have anything on your mind, and I'll see you all next week. Bye!